and final week of business boot camp. I want to thank Ellen for taking time out of her busy life and agreeing to do this. I think anytime we have coaches that are willing to step forward and share and educate and really kind of put their heart out there, I think it's a tremendous gift. And anytime, a leader's doing a podcast or volunteering their time, I'm always taking advantage and getting my free learn on, right? Most classes cost a lot of money. And so I want to dive into it, and I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that either push us forward in our business, and I want to talk about some of the things that hold us back. So essentially, we are here to launch a product, right? We're here to launch a product. So we have wonderful company with wonderful products, 80 different solutions, whether it be for weight loss, for energy, for health. But that is our job, to essentially launch this product to people. And as network marketers, it is our job to ensure that we provide the best customer service in teaching our customers how to launch the product, right? And I think a lot of times we get so excited about the getting them enrolled that we really don't take our time in properly and fully explaining everything. And so for instance, a lot of people are not taking the time to educate their customers about clicking that purple box. And I don't know if many of you guys know, but if somebody does not click that purple box, within 90 days, all their volume is gone. And we have a wonderful team. I mean, there's 100 people coming in every week. And so after 90 days, all their volume is gone. And just for an example, my mom doesn't do the business, and neither does my husband, but because I've kept them active, because they've clicked that purple box, because they've entered their information, both my mom and my husband have hundreds and thousands of volume in their back office. And you never know who is going to come into your business. I mean, for example, Ed signed up a girl named Crystal who did absolutely nothing, was not into it. And then she brought Ellen onto the team, who hit 4-star and retired from her job. Ellen brought on someone named Christy who kind of, just said, not right now, or this isn't for me. And then this Christy found someone like Robin who said, this is for me. So, what I would share with you is that don't make that decision for your customer. To provide excellent customer service, you've got to share the whole truth. And that is, number one, become an associate, whether you want to do the business or not. Number two, stay active with 100 points. I don't care if you order 4 shakes a month, but stay active, because as long as you're active, every leaf, the way Ellen describes it, every leaf that grows on your tree comes up to you. And that's a big deal. Because in 1 month, we have about 400 new leaves that have sprouted somewhere underneath you. And so I want you guys to really get comfortable with the sales. I want you to be proud of what we represent. I know that for some of you, sales may seem like such a dirty and unpleasant word, but I'm not selling mascara. I'm selling a gift. I'm selling something that is going to tremendously impact someone's life physically and financially. And so whether you call me a salesperson, whether you call me a product sharer, whether you call me a gift giver, I am a proud network marketing professional. And so this is the attitude, this is the backbone that I really want you guys to take with this. And I think that for a lot of us, it stems with getting rid of past painful experience. Have any of you guys owned a business before? Any prior business owners? And was it always peaches and cream? Was it always wonderful? Or did it come with a lot of fucking, I don't know if there's kids on the call. I won't curse tonight. It probably came with a lot of headaches owning a business, right? Right? Because let's say I own a cupcake shop and I love baking cupcakes and I get so much joy in making those cupcakes. And so I open up a cupcake shop. And now all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, I've got to do payroll. I've got to do accounting. They're telling me I need a lawyer because my sidewalk is cracked and somebody just fell on my sidewalk. And all of these things that I got into the business for passion, I'm no longer passionate about, because now comes all the other crap that I never signed up for. And so for a lot of us, owning a business comes with a lot of negative connotation. And so when we get rid of those painful experiences, and when we teach others how not to take that pain with us, we come from a wonderful place. We have a virtual global franchise. Do you guys know that you are officially business owners that are licensed to market in 15 different countries? How cool is that? How cool is that? Ruth just started like 6 weeks ago, and now she has an international business with someone from the UK. She happened to know someone in the UK. Do you think that maybe if you guys put your mind to it, that you can ask for referrals from someone in Colombia, in Puerto Rico, in Mexico, in all these 15 incredible countries? And that's what you have. You have a virtual franchise. You don't have to pay a landlord. You don't have to pay any overhead. The company drop ships. And guess what? If there's a problem, it's no sweat off my back. Someone could be allergic to the products and I'm not responsible. The company will take care of it. And somebody could be pissed off because their chocolate was not up to their expectations. They thought it was going to be like a Carvel milkshake. And it's still not my problem. I give them the number to customer service and they clean up the mess, right? So you have nothing but the beauty in this. It's the beauty of owning the business without all the mess and all the crap and all the hardships. And I want you to think about that. You are your own boss. And Ellen's going to go into time management. And I really think it's wonderful how she's managed to run her organization in the pockets of her time. But what I will tell you is that when you are talking to people about sharing, right, you want to immediately off the bat squash everything that they are thinking with respect to prior painful business experiences. Okay, so when people do Isagenix, I mean, the first thing that Ed says is, this is so much fun, because that's the way it should be to people. If it's not fun, who's going to want to do this? You think somebody wants another headache of running another business? I've got 2 kids, 2 dogs, a team of 26,000. Do you think I want another responsibility on my hands? And so when you're coming at people, are you coming at them like this is the most fun thing ever? Or are you coming at them like giving them a job? Okay, here's your job for the week. You're going to have to find 2 people. You're going to have to get me to consultant this week because I need that crystal manager. And then here's what you have. You have 60 days. I mean, how are you presenting this to people? As though it is a chore, or as though they have joined the best, most fun club ever? And that's got to come from you, the education, the stimulation, the fun. So what I will share with you is that you have to be laser focused. Right? I know people that do it on Monday and then Wednesday, they're just not feeling it. And I know people that are really having a phenomenal March and they've enrolled 12 people and they're like, that was amazing. I will be back in July. That's not how to build a business. That's not how to build any business. That's not how I do homework with my kids. I mean, anything you commit to, you've got to commit to it, right? If you sign up your kids to karate or soccer, are you going to bring them to practice once every 3 weeks? Or are you going to keep showing up even if your kids suck? Right? You as a parent, what kind of values are you instilling in your kids? to keep showing up, because you're going to get better and better and better. And those are the same values that I have instilled in myself when it comes to Isagenix. I am laser focused. Do I always have a killer month? No. This month, I think I signed up 3 people. I told Ed, I'm like, it was horrific for me. But you know what? Who cares? April, I dust myself off and I told him I'm going to go for 20 and 30 again. And that's how you do it. You dust it off and you get back in the game. The same example that you're sharing with your kids, you've got to practice. You've got to be the role model, because who's going to want to sign up with you if one day you're in it and the next day you're not? And honestly, what is so hard about sharing your story with 3 people a day? They're either going to say yes, or they're going to say no, or they're going to say not right now. And that's it. And so these fears that we have, this overwhelmed state, and I'm going to have Ellen talk more about time and feelings of overwhelm, but these feelings of overwhelm, like, oh my God, I have 5 people that I have to coach, it's too much. What exactly do you have to do? The instructions are in the box. You put them in the Facebook group. You ask them to watch the Shake Day video. There should be no reason to feel overwhelmed. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, you've got to get a grip on it, because Isagenix is not overwhelming. I can have 20 enrollments in 1 month. And as long as I give them proper instructions, it goes smoothly. Please let me know when your box arrives so that I can walk you through your Shake Day. Please call me on day 5 so that I can introduce you to my fellow teammate. He's going to provide the best possible explanation for a cleanse day. Please check in with me on day 8. I have business hours, as Ellen's going to talk about. I don't pick up my phone at 1 in the morning. You know, I always put my family first. That's the beauty of Isagenix. That's how the Cougars want it. God, family, Isagenix. That's the way it's intended to be. It's not intended to be Isagenix. Oh my God, I haven't taken a shower in 5 days. I mean, when we do a blitz and we rock and roll, we rock and roll. We are committed. But Isagenix is something wonderful. And if you're not sharing, if things are getting in the way, if you're feeling overwhelmed and inundated, I mean, today, honestly, I wish I can show you guys. I took a shoe box, I swooshed everything off my desk just to have nothing but my planner and a pencil, and I got to work. And sometimes we need that. We need to get laser focused. And listen, I can wear a funny hat. I can tell you jokes. I can dance for you. I can do whatever you want. You're not going to be externally motivated. And I have to tell you honestly, there is nothing I can say or do to make you want to go for it. There's nothing anyone can say or do that made me make the decision, you know what? I have to get to Crystal Manager because I want to show my team that I'm serious. And so you do the do each and every day, but you've got to find a why, you know, and I know that it's so taboo, finding a why that makes you cry, but it really is finding some sort of internal motivation that's going to make you wake up, put in the hours, and get on the phone. And I tell you, the magic happens when you're by yourself. The hard work happens when you're by yourself. You know, nobody watches what I do, but it's the stuff that I do in private that gets me recognized in public. You know, if you want to walk that stage as a millionaire, if you want to make a 4 or 5 figure check, if you feel good when your coach sends you a little gift or appreciates you, it's not the stuff that you talk about. It's the stuff that you do quietly behind that closed door when nobody else is watching. And, you know, what I tell you guys is eventually it's not going to be for the money. It's going to be a much bigger picture for you. And for me, that picture is changing the world on a bigger scale, helping set more families free. right? Because in Isagenix, and my favorite saying is this is not a place where there's just a podium and it's only made for one person. The Isagenix is a platform. And the best way that you can grow and be a leader is to have all your team up there with you on that big stage. It's big enough for all of us, right? So if you're going to run, don't expect your coach to do it for you. Your coach doesn't owe you a darn thing. I mean, you can ask in the group if you don't know some information, but your coach is not meant to be your clown and sit there and do a puppet show for you come on, girl, are you going to work today? I never have to call up Ed and ask him if he's working. I never have to message Ellen and say, hey, friendly reminder, 5 stars right around the corner. It's just, you either want it or you don't. And if you want it, you've got to get laser focused. You've got to get intentional. You've got to make the decision, and you've got to put in the work. And if you don't want it, that's okay too. We love our product users, right? Our 80% of our team are happy product users. And so that's wonderful too. And so before I pass it over to Ellen, I want to talk to you guys about controlling your emotional state and how to get yourself into that peak state to elicit the exact behaviors that you want. So, sorry, I got distracted. So, emotional control, okay? So here's, every day there are situations that I'm faced with where people, for lack of a better word, piss me off. So I've had somebody for 6 months, I'm going to do this. I want to do this. I want to do the business. She finally comes in and I can't even get the girl to drink a shake. Is it going to get me stressed out? Then I have someone, she's like, okay, all right, I got somebody. Then she's like, she found an article about Isagenix. She's not going to do this. This isn't going to work for me. And every day you're dealing with people's nonsensical stupidity. And I was just sharing with Ed, common sense ain't that common, my friends. I think we can all agree with that. But it doesn't matter them. What matters is me. Am I going to be reactive or am I going to be proactive? Am I going to control my state? Am I going to let it, oh, I was counting on her. She was going to be the one that got me to Crystal Manager. I have a plan A, B, C, and D because I don't rest my kids' future on anyone. Listen, Ed can be gone tomorrow. Sophia can quit. Vicky can quit. You don't find 10 people and say, no, I think I'm good to go. I think I'm going to retire now. You don't rest your family's life on one person, especially if you're committed to helping people. And so when things are going to happen, and trust me, I was telling my executive group, the minute you decide to go for executive, your laptop will crash, you will get an pneumonia, your husband will tell you he's got a second job and now you got to pick up the kids. The minute you decide to go for it, there's like a whirlwind of crap that's going to go wrong. And it's there to test you. And it's there to test you. And you're going to have people that shoot you down. You're going to have partners and best friends say you're ridiculous. You're never going to be successful. This is a Ponzi scheme. And it's going to be up to you to prove them all wrong. Right? I have an amazing girl who's about to hit Crystal Manager tonight and make $700. And every single dance mom that she spoke to told her that they wouldn't get involved in her stupid shake program. And I shouted her out tonight and I said, there's going to be haters and there's going to be doubters and then there's going to be you proving them wrong. You cannot control what other people say and do, but you owe it to yourself to control your state. To control your state. And when when I get know your power hour, I don't take phone calls after like 7 o'clock because I'm just crazy and cranky and tired and my kids are, it's family time. But from 10 to 2, I can work, I can enroll, I've got energy. So know your power hour. Work when you feel hot, work when you feel good. If you are just waking up and you're feeling funky and your neck hurts and you're PMSing, throw on some good music, run, go to the gym, get yourself in a state, and then come back and work from that peak state. Lift yourself, elevate yourself higher. Do what you have to do, because people are not signing up for the ingredients in the products, and people are not signing up for how good you look in a two-piece. People are signing up because your energy is contagious. And so when you get on that phone, be hyped up, be pumped up, put on some music. You know what I mean? You've got to get into a peak state, and you've got to control your emotions. If I quit every time somebody poo-pooed me, I wouldn't be where I am today. And I have been poo-pooed a lot by our own team, by upline, by people that were closest to me. My best friend thought she was muted when we were on a team conference call talking bad about me. She thought she was muted and she was talking about me. And I said, hello, you may want to hit *6. And surely, after 6 months, she was gone. But I wasn't gone. I'm still here. I made it. And so if I let everyone's ignorance or stupidity knock me off the block, I wouldn't have the 26,000 that I have today. And I wish that all of you stay strong and stay in the game long enough to have 26,000 of your own. Because when you get the Robins and you get the Ellens and you get the Eds and you get the Ruth and you get the Sophia, it makes every no worthwhile. It makes every rejection, objection, silly comment. I don't remember those because I've got so much good surrounding me. Do you guys understand what I mean? When you have a team so powerful, so impactful, you're not fazed by the ignorance. You're not fazed by the bad things out there. And so I will leave it with this. Build on the exact behaviors that you want. If you want to get good, practice having the conversation. If you want to work on creating balance in your life, set those hours for yourself. You've got to be peace and you've got to be calm. Every morning I start out doing headspace meditation because I know how crazy I am. I'm always up here, right? So every morning I've got to go to the gym. I've got to meditate. I've got to practice behaviors that are going to have me feeling good. And you know what? When it's time for my children, I've got to take off my Isagenix hat and I've got to put on my mommy hat because I do this for them. And if I can't find balance in my life and I can't be a good mom and I can't be a good wife, then I can't be a good leader to my team. And there is nothing wrong with being selfish. There's nothing wrong with shutting your phones. There's nothing wrong with controlling the stress and anxiety. But that's where you've got to come from. And when you come from that place of strength, guys, you're going to attract strong people. When you come from a place of weakness and desperation and insecurity, guess who you're going to attract? Complainers. People who want a refund. I don't want to share. I'm too shy. Right? So I with that, I hope you found value. I'm going to pass it on to Ellen because I think she's the master of time management, of weaving this into her life, of really always keeping it cool, keeping it under control. Guys, we sell shakes. You're not an OR doctor. I know you'd like to think that, you are, but we sell shakes. There is no problem that is that big that they need you undivided attention right then and there. So, Ellen, I'm going to pass it over to you.
All right. Hi, guys. So I am huge on scheduling things and time management. When I first started this, I felt like a lot of people feel is overwhelmed and not really, I was practicing hygiene full time and I would run into the bathroom to go to the bathroom and I'd bring my phone with me and I'm checking on people and responding to their, can I have this kind of rice or can I have this, and this or whatever. So it was like consuming my life. So when I came home, I was absolutely exhausted. And after probably like 6 months, I found that balance where I needed to start to create better working hours. And it also came when my husband came to me, and there was a lot of times in the car where he'd be like, "Ugh, you're on the phone again. Like, please get off the phone." So after hearing that kind of thing, I started, as crazy as it sounds, I kind of scheduled time for him and scheduled time for me. And I think that's important to have balance in your business. You have to have balance with your family. You can't let this consume your whole world. I have people who just come into this and they're like, "Oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed." And they have, a team of like 5 people. So it doesn't have to be overwhelming. I have 6,000 people on my team now, and I am not overwhelmed. I set strict schedule. And it's because I have a child now. And my point of being a stay-at-home mom is to be a fully present mom. And I will not take phone calls during the day when she's awake. I refuse. And I don't care if they have to come the next day or whatever it may be. But these are my working hours. If she's napping or she's sleeping at night, wonderful. I'm more than happy to help. Other than that, set your schedule. I don't even touch my phone. And it's kind of nice when you don't touch your phone, because sometimes people will message you questions, and by the time you actually check your phone, they already sent you, "Never mind, I found it." That's the most beautiful thing. That's all they needed to do was just look. It's okay. And sometimes I will respond with the answer, and I love to do that too. But the thing is I set boundaries for my team. Yes, April, you are famous for that. But it's okay. You get smarter from it. You learn where the tools are and where the resources are. So I get a calendar. This is actually different from my normal calendar. So I have this broken down by each day. So this is a day, and it has my time, and then it has my note schedule, right? So my personal working hours, my daughter goes to sleep at 7. I start calls at 7:30. And then I'll work until like 9:30, 10 o'clock when it's bedtime for me. So I'm not staying up all night answering questions. I put my phone on do not disturb at night. And if she happens to nap during the day, or like if someone needs a day 5 call, right? That's always a 3-way. I use that as an example. I'm okay with doing that during the day because I can put my phone on mute and still pay attention to my kid, right? So it's not me having to actually be mentally present and speaking and stuff like that. I can put it on mute and just keep playing with Sailor and that kind of thing. So I set things up. So I have my to-do list that I actually do in the morning, and then I draw a line, and then I have my call scheduled. On the right side where it says like the to-do, I have lists. That's where I write, like, for example, I have get Jen's results. I have follow up with Becca, get Arian's results. I have to schedule Greg's day 5 call. That's what I put on my to-do list, calls that are not booked yet. So that's been huge for me, is just getting a freaking calendar and always keeping it out. Some people use Google Calendar, and that's great. Me, that means I have to open something and it's not always there. I just leave this calendar on my counter, so I constantly see it. I just have a pin next to it. I can just scribble it in really quick. It's always kind of open near me, and that's what works best for me. If the technology part works best for you guys, then do it that way. Angela, that was the exact calendar that I had last year and the year before and the year before. I just wanted to try something different this year, but I really like that one because it lays the whole week out when you open the book, right? So mine has each day. Hers has Monday through Sunday on her. There you go. You can see it. It has the entire week laid out columns, and I think it's like 15 or 30-minute increments. So some people use highlighters and they highlight their hours of business, or they highlight, I think Angela does this, in green, the money-making activities and stuff like that. I don't use highlighters because they bleed through the page for me and it stresses me out. So I use just a pen or a pencil. That's up to you guys, whatever works best for you. But that's my biggest piece of advice, is just get a calendar and make a freaking schedule. Like, you don't have to always be available for your team. So I know that we should ideally be available, but that's the importance of connecting them with multiple coaches and connecting them with the Facebook group. You don't have to always answer their questions of what food they can have. They can go to the Facebook group and find that. And connecting them with other coaches, they can utilize other people. All a huge. So that's my, I guess, tidbit on time management, and just focus on your family, still focus on your business, but your family is your priority. And that's the main reason you're doing this. If you're doing this to be a stay-at-home mom, be a present mom. Don't be on your phone all day. That's not really how we intended to raise our kids, with being a stay-at-home mom. That wasn't the point of it, right? So just make business hours for yourself and stick to it.
So I love two very specific things that she said. Is that number one, you said, Ellen, that you're not bound by your phone. And so you find that number one, as long as you do what's on your to-do list and you get it done, there's no time specific when you have to get it done. You prefer to do it when your baby's sleeping, which is great. I also very much like what you said, that you notice that if you don't respond right away, it kind of gives your clients a little bit of autonomy, and so they figure it out. And the thing that I learned from some of the Isagenix leaders is you're not the be-all and end-all. You're just a tour guide. You're not there to provide them all the answers. You're simply there to direct them. So, if somebody asks Ellen, is this safe for pregnant or breastfeeding moms? She wouldn't give a whole write-up on why it is. She would say, you can find that information on isagenixhealth.net. You point them in the right direction, and then you let them go and do the homework. You don't have to feed them the answers. And what it does is it forces someone to go out there and educate themselves. I love that. Ruth is like, I had no idea what was going on. I picked up the phone and I called up customer service. And I'm like, good for you. She's so independent. She won't even ask me. She'll call up customer service and figure it out. And that's what leaders do. They figure it out. They don't need to be spoon-fed. You don't want to build a team that is completely crippled and reliant on you. I know as a mom, it's so nice to want to take care of all your babies, but when you have 26,000 babies, it's exhausting. When you have a team of 2, yeah, you can definitely give them all the answers, but when you have a team of 22, you're going to be worn thin. And so instead of giving them all the answers, teach a man how to fish, and you're going to feed him for a lifetime. If you give someone a fish, they're going to come back to you and say they're hungry again tomorrow. So I really love that point. So now I just want to talk for a few minutes, Ellen. This is your daily method of operation. But I know that there is a time when the clock is running. And I know that you were very competitive. You used to do competitive cheer. You're just competitive by nature. I love that. You're a red like me. When it is, okay, so for instance, I know that you're pushing to go to Bahamas next year for top achievers. Okay, so when the clock is ticking, for example, I remember that you were a 2-star. And our cycles were very high on that Monday and Tuesday. And we were like, oh my God, Ellen, you can hit 3-star. So although this is your daily flow of operation, sometimes, like this week, when you have 5 days left to hit Crystal Manager, you've got to gun it. You've got to put the pedal to the metal, and you've got to hit that time frame, guys. If you're not an executive, if you are an executive, all we need is 2 consultants to make $700. This is free money on the table. Not only is it free money, it brings validity and credibility. Ed Golden starts shouting you out on Facebook saying, congratulations to, Kristen, congratulations to Robin, who made $700 this week. You think people might say, hey, how'd you make $700 off drinking them shakes? Anytime you hit a rank advancement, anytime people congratulate you for money, people want to know what you're doing. And now, so you're going to be attracting business builders. So tell me the effort, the concentrated effort that it took you to get from 2-star to 4-star, and what some of those activities were. Because we have a lot of people, I'm not going to call anyone out by name, but we have Chelsea and Shea and a lot of girls who are really close to hitting Crystal Manager. And I'm not going to sleep until they get that money. So let's give them some tips, Ellen, on what they need to do to crush this week. Because daily method of operation is different when you're hauling ass to get that rank. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. So
Yes.
like when I went from 4-star to 5-star, that was like, so both of those girls that you called out, they have kids. So we'll relate it to when I went from 2 to 3, whatever, I didn't have a baby yet. So that was a little bit easier. But having a kid, what I did was I sat my husband down, and going for that jump, I knew that I needed to put in extra work where my thumbs are constantly moving. I'm messaging every single person in my downline. I'm doing whatever I can. I'm offering them incentive. I'm, pushing beyond measures. I'm asking them for favors, please do this for me kind of thing. And I sat him down and I just made this understanding, like, you have the baby for this, these certain amount of days, and I need you to kind of focus on her, and just, you're going to be full-time dad. I'm going to be here, but I'm not going to be paying attention to you guys very much. So that was I call it ass in chair time, where I nonstop working, messaging people like crazy. I messaged every single person on my friend list. I'm asking for referrals. I posted in Facebook groups, really just reaching out to as many people as I could. My family, my closest friends, anyone who was in the program, out of the program, I didn't care. So, I made up for it by, once I hit that Sunday, on Monday, I had a girls' day with Sailor. I turned my phone off. We went to the play place at the mall. We played there. We had lunch together. We had a beautiful day, and I made sure that I focused on her to make up for that little bit of time that paid off beyond measures. For me to sacrifice those 3 days, who cares? You know what I mean? But it's just pushing yourself to go outside of the box, and don't be afraid to talk to anybody.
Yeah, I think those are really great tips, and you're absolutely right. Like when we do a blitz and when we go hard for like 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, what would those 90 days mean to you? I mean, if that's going to bring you a 6-figure income, if that's going to retire your husband, if that's going to make life easier, is it worth it to put in those hours for 90 days, for a short time? That's all I do, is I do a burst. I go hard for a burst of time, and then I relax. But what it did for Ellen to hit that 5-star was really create a lot of security. I believe her husband opened up a business, bought a plane as a result of this dedicated effort. And so, now they're on to their second baby, but it's not her whole life. It's a little burst of energy. Get to that rank, make a decision, hit Crystal Manager, and then you exhale, and then you breathe, and then you take your family on a nice trip, and you thank them for their support. You acknowledge them for feeding the baby. I mean, Vicky Brunetti makes me laugh. She goes, "Ange, I was giving my daughter a cup of soup for dinner every night." But when they did hit it, her kids were dancing around so proud of her that their mommy hit 4-star. And that's a big deal. That's $280,000 in income. Average Joes don't make that. People who put in the effort, people who are wise enough to realize something special in network marketing. And so let's give them a last piece of advice. With running to Crystal Manager, today is Tuesday. We have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You have 5 days. If you have more than 2 people enrolled, you have got to ask them for help. If you have 300 friends on Facebook, you have got to inbox every single one of them and ask them for 2 names or to put up a post. If you are not in local groups, get in local groups, post some before and afters. Just talk to people, put the pedal to the metal. $700, people have to work 40 hours a week to make $700. We're asking you to put 2 hours a day into your Isagenix business to make that happen. I mean, what is the trade-off? Talk to people who are on your team. If they have an auto ship coming up with over 200, say, listen, let's put 100 under your husband, keep 100 under you, and let's get you to find one more person. Creating a consultant, certainly value pack is always the best, but to make a consultant, it's one on the left, one on the right with 100 BV. 100 BV. You don't have a nice friend that can order 4 shakes for you? If somebody called me up and said, Ange, I am going for a rank. I am going for this title. Can you do me a favor and order 4 chocolate shakes to help me? Hello? Yeah, of course. Here's my credit card. Guys, intention. Put it out there. Decide you are going for this. Urgency. Don't talk to Cheryl on Thursday. Now, today, urgency. And decide that on Sunday you are going to come and tell me that you are a Crystal manager. And we are going to shout you out and we are going to celebrate you. And I'm going to be so proud of you. But most important, you're going to be so proud of you. Do it. Do it. You're getting on these calls. You're reading the books. You're listening to the podcast. Do the do. That's the stuff that gets you the stuff, the recognition, the celebration, the pride. I feel proud that I've hit Crystal Manager. I've probably hit it 20 times and it doesn't get old, but I don't leave money on the table. I'm proud to do it, and I'm proud to be an example for the team. And that's why I want you to do it, for all those reasons. So last bit of advice, Ellen.
I feel like a lot of people, so with doing this, you're doing this for yourself, right? And you're doing this for your family. I feel like a lot of people, if you had a boss telling you to do this and that you had to do it or you would lose your job, or it was just part of your requirement, you would do it. So for some reason, people have this weird thing in their head that they're not going to, follow up with people, or they're not going to ask a favor. But realistically, if a boss was asking you to, that you would. Just like with hygiene, we had to have this list of callbacks for people, whether they hung up on us or if they said, I don't want my freaking teeth cleaned by you, or I can't do it this month. We kept a running list and we always had to call the people. I hated it every time, but it was my job. So it's the same thing with your business. Why are we not doing these phone calls just because we're afraid that someone's going to say no? Do it like it's your job, because this is your job. People are afraid to do it for themselves. And I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, to me, it does. Like, I see it time and time again. People are just afraid to ask for that favor or to reach out to this one person who said no this one time. Like, ask people for favors. You've helped them so much with getting their health better and, changing their energy or whatever you've helped them with. Why would they not help you? Some want to help you more than they want to help themselves. Yes. So they may not be enticed by, find 2 friends, you'll get $150. But if you say, please, I need 2 names. I just need a couple of shake orders. Can you please help me with this? I am so close to a rank. This would help me tremendously.
Yes.
You have to ask. They don't care about $150 all the time. It's you. They want to help you. You're the person who changed their life.
110% true. So if you did not call that list, were there repercussions at your job? Were there consequences if you did not call the people on that running list?
Yeah, you would be in trouble, because if we didn't have patients, we had to call people. So you get in trouble when you don't have people filled in your schedule.
Yeah.
So if you put in the work or not.
Yeah. So with Isagenix, because it's your business, you're like, no, maybe I'll do it. Maybe I won't. There's no repercussion. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you guys that if you don't hit it, you're all fired. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. But I want to give you guys an example, right? So I was talking to my coach today, and I said, I started a 30-day plank challenge for my team. And I was like, so for the first 4 days, it was awesome. I was planking. I did 30 seconds, and then the next night, 40 seconds and 50 seconds. And I said, and then on the 4th night, I fell asleep. He goes, because you don't give a shit about planking. And I'm like, it's true, I don't, but I just wanted to do something fun for the team. He's like, but if you're not passionate about it, you're not going to do it. And just because he said that, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to let this be one more thing that I quit. And so I could have stopped on day 4 and said, the hell with this planking challenge. Or I could have said, you know what? I missed one day. And everybody is allowed one bad day. But for the next 26 days, I'm going to get down on the floor and I'm going to plank. And so far, it is day 9. I am back to doing that planking challenge. And I could give a hoot about planking, but I don't want to quit another thing on myself. Do you understand what I mean? I want to wake up and I want to feel proud and I want to say, I'm accomplished. I did what I put my mind to it. And that's what this Crystal Manager is. It's another test of your strength. It's another challenge of you being a fearless leader. And you know what? Eventually, when you have a big team, you're going to be able to share that story with your team. I didn't care about hitting Crystal Manager, but I did it because I knew my team deserved it. And I wanted it to be one less thing that I quit on myself for. And so as I do my plank tonight, I will be meditating and praying and wishing for all of you to be Crystal Manager. It's just a stepping stone for the big, beautiful light at the end of the tunnel. Because after that, guess what? I'm going to push you to director and then Crystal Executive. And then when you make $100,000, I'm going to say, good for you. Next year, you're going to make 250. And I think that's what a good coach is here for. It's to push you. It's to encourage you. It's to never, ever give up on you, because I know sometimes it's easy to give up on yourself. But you know, you've got an amazing, amazing team of people. I couldn't think of a better, kinder, more beautiful, more gracious team than what we are blessed with. And that comes from everyone. Every little post, every little bit, every client that you coach is what we have all made this team. And so I'm so proud of you. Kick butt. Ellen, thank you so much. We have 8 Crystal Managers. I'm hoping and praying for another 10 this weekend. So if you guys need anything at all, 3-way phone calls, helps, tips, advice, a kick in the butt, somebody to plank with you, you just reach out to any one of us. We're all here to love on you and support you guys. Ellen, you're the best.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for doing this boot camp, guys.
Thank you for participating. Thank you, guys. I hope you found value in this. Let me unmute. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you. Bye.
Guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.